Hey professor, this is Dan Lee. First I want to talk something about the uh, diversity. So I think in SIPA there are a lot of diversities, like gender diversities, racial diversities. But I think the most important diversity in SIPA is national diversities. I think, as you mentioned in class, there are one third American students, one third Chinese students, and one third students, other international students come from all around the world. So, because students come from different places and they grow up in different areas and different customs, so uh, students in SIPA may have different way of thinking, different ways to express themselves, to express their opinions, and also they will have different behaviors. Um, so um, I think, for example, like most Chinese students, they tend to be silent in class, right? Most Chinese students usually keep silence in class. They don't participate in the class discussion too much, uh, and this is because the way of the the teaching style and the education system in China, yeah, in our teaching system, teaching style, teachers actually don't advocate class discussion too much, and all the Chinese for all the Chinese students, what they have to do is to learn, to take notes, to remember, and to paraphrase those in the exam, I think. So the national diversity, and of course behind the national diversity is cultural diversity, is the most important diversity in SIPA. And I think there are also some other diversity that is obvious in SIPA. Mm, for I think one diversity is I think students in different different students come to SIPA. Before they come to SIPA, they are taking part in different works. So I think for most Chinese students, before they come to SIPA, they're all undergraduate students. So usually they don't have a gap year or they don't have some experience. They just finish their undergraduate study and they go to SIPA to start their graduate study. But I think for other international students, like students in India, students in South America, or in Africa, students usually have a long time work experience. Usually they work for 5 or 10 years and then they go to SIPA to pursue their graduate degree. Mm. And some of these students or maybe nurse before, and some of them were teacher. And in so I think different students may have different jobs before they come to SIPA. And as far as I know, I think American students are just in the middle of Chinese students and international students. Some of them were students before they come to SIPA, and some of them have some work experience. I think another diversity in SIPA is about the major, right? As you know, SIPA has so many different majors for students to focus on. Uh, and the different students before they came to SIPA, they work in different areas. Some, right, as I mentioned, they maybe nurse, so maybe those nurses will be more interested in the medical industry, uh, or they may choose to focus on public health. And for other students, maybe they focus on education, right? They were teacher before, and other students may focus on economics. I think most Chinese students may focus on economics in SIPA, right? Uh, for me, as an example, I studied international economics and trade in the undergraduate study, and also I had some research experience in uh, energy, energy and environmental policy. I did some research in new energy, like or new energy cars like Tesla. So this is uh, this is about students who have different uh, majors. This is also diversity. And then I want to talk something about inclusion. I think the inclusion is first we have to recognize and identify those differences existing between the whole group of students. And after we identify these diversities, we must show our respect to these diversities. We should be tolerant to differences between me and you. And I think we should not only try to protect those differences, we try to advocate uh, different ideas, we advocate students to be critical, to express their uh, different ideas directly. And also, we should try to make this environment thrive. We should uh, give support to this diversity, because just because different students have different opinions and different experience, and so we can learn a lot in our discussion, and those different ideas will be very helpful to come up new ideas, to find solutions to complex topics, and with the help of our peers, we'll come up ideas beyond our no beyond our knowledge background. So I think this is about the inclusion in CPA, is to first identify the differences, and we show our respect to differences, and we try to encourage these differences to make these differences exist and thrive. Uh, and when it comes to the groups that are underrepresented at SIPA, um, I think there may be it may be the if we divide group by their proficiency in English, I think there will be most students that they are to some degree they are professional in English, but other students they are not so familiar with English, especially for some Chinese students or Indian students. Yeah, they are not native English speakers, so they can't express their opinion, to express their meaning clearly. So uh, maybe other people will misunderstand them, and maybe they will have trouble in their assignments. They just can keep up with the pace of other students who are native English speakers. Those American students, those European students, or those North African students whose uh, native language or official language is English. Yeah, so I think those students who are not proficient in English were the underrepresented students at CPAP. And I think mm, if I succeed in applying this job, I think I would try to help those students to get involved in our activities, and maybe I I can think how to try to help them in their study, learning, make them more proficient in English, or before they become proficient, try to solve this problem problems in their study and in their daily communication. Um, I think this is important thing if I want to apply to this job. And I think that's all about my ideas about the diversity, the inclusion. Um, yeah, thank you.